Ladies and gentlemen, we are not waiting for 2026 to become our year. We are preparing for it right now. And preparation isn't glamorous. It's gritty, uncomfortable, and unfiltered. Let's be real. Wishing for success has never built success. Habits have, focus has, discipline has, and the decisions you make today will echo into your future louder than you can imagine. If you want 2026 to look different, you must become different before you get there. Here are 10 things you must improve before 2026 if you want to transform your life. 1, your self-discipline. Stop hitting snooze on your goals and your life. The future rewards the disciplined, not the dreamers. 2, your emotional control. People don't fail because life gets hard. They fail because they panic instead of respond. Learn to breathe before you react. 3, your circle. If the people around you don't inspire you, challenge you, or push you to be better, you don't have a circle, you have a cage. 4, your health. The body you ignore today will bill you tomorrow. Move daily. Eat real food. Sleep with intention. 5, your habits. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your habits. Audit them. Replace the ones killing your progress. 6, your money mindset. Stop waiting for more money to behave responsibly. Control what you have now. Track, save, build, invest. Start small, but start now. 7, your patience and consistency. Everyone wants big results fast. Winners commit long before results show. Consistency beats talent every time. 8, your boundaries. Learn to say no without guilt. Protect your time. Protect your peace. Not everyone is meant to travel with you. 9, your knowledge and skills. In a world changing by the minute, learning isn't optional. It's survival. Level up your mind to level up your life. 10, your self-belief. You cannot build a life you don't believe you deserve. Talk to yourself like someone you're responsible for lifting up. 2026 is coming whether you prepare or not. The question is, will it meet a stronger you or the same you? No more waiting for a sign. No more excuses dressed as reasons. No more hoping your life changes on its own. Stand up, change your habits, strengthen your mind, raise your standards, build yourself into a person your future self will thank you for, because the truth, you don't need a new year, you need a new you. And the time to build that person is today. Go get it. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about direction. It's about choosing your future self over your current feelings. And let's be brutally honest. Most people don't lack potential, dreams, or talent. They lack discipline. They lack the ability to say, I don't feel like it, but I'm doing it anyway. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is almost always filled with one thing: the work you keep postponing. You talk about success. You fantasize about change. You visualize your goals. But none of that means anything without disciplined action behind it. Think about how many mornings you woke up knowing what you needed to do and still didn't do it. You didn't skip because you were incapable. You skipped because it was uncomfortable. And that right there is the truth most people never face. Comfort kills more dreams than failure ever will. Every time you hit snooze, every time you scroll instead of work, every time you break a promise to yourself, you're telling your brain, my feelings are the boss. And once your feelings run the show, discipline dies. And with it, every goal you claim to want. Discipline is self-respect. It's not punishment. It's not deprivation. It is the loudest form of self-love that exists. You don't push yourself because you hate where you are. You push yourself because you know you deserve better. When you do what's hard now, life becomes easier later. When you avoid what's hard now, life becomes harder later. That's the contract. That's the truth. And there is no shortcut around it. You cannot talk yourself into a better life. You have to work yourself into it. Discipline means doing what matters even when the excitement is gone. Because excitement fades, motivation fades, inspiration fades. But commitment, real, quiet, everyday commitment, that's where transformation happens. The type of discipline you need is not glamorous. It looks like waking up when you want to sleep. It looks like saying no when you want to say yes. It looks like turning off your phone, shutting out distractions, and choosing your goals over temporary comfort. It looks like building habits brick by brick, even when nobody claps, even when nobody sees, even when progress feels invisible. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Growth always is. But so is regret. So is staying the same. So is waking up in December 2025 and realizing nothing changed because you didn't There will always be a reason to wait. There will always be a more convenient time that never arrives. The hardest part isn't the work. The hardest part is deciding that you will no longer betray your future for the sake of your comfort today. The moment you choose discipline over distraction, everything shifts. Your energy changes. Your confidence rises. You begin to trust yourself. And that trust, that's power. That's the foundation of a life you can be proud of. Discipline doesn't mean you never fall. It means you don't quit when you fall. You get up again and again. You show up tired. You show up unsure. You show up scared. You show up when you don't feel motivated, because discipline isn't about feelings. It's about identity. It's about becoming the person who follows through, the person who builds momentum, the person who doesn't negotiate with their excuses. So starting today, remove the emotion from your commitments. Stop waiting to feel ready. Do it messy. Do it tired. Do it imperfectly. But do it. Every single act of discipline is a vote for the future. Every single day you choose effort over ease, you're shaping a stronger version of yourself. You don't need more time. You don't need more motivation. You need to decide that your goals matter more than your comfort. Decide that you will not live on repeat. Decide that your future deserves a fierce, disciplined version of you. Not someday, not when life gets easier, but now, because discipline isn't punishment. It's freedom. Freedom from excuses, freedom from stagnation, freedom from being controlled by impulses instead of intention. And when 2026 comes, it will meet one of two versions of you, the one who wished or the one who worked, and only one of them wins. You already know which one you're meant to be. Now prove it to yourself. Most people don't get defeated by life. They get defeated by their reactions to life. It's not the moment that breaks you. It's the storm you let inside after the moment. Think about how many times someone's comment ruined your whole day. Think about how often you've replayed something hurtful until it poisoned your mood, your motivation, your peace. Emotional resilience isn't about never feeling hurt, frustrated, or overwhelmed. It's about refusing to let those feelings run your life. You can feel something without obeying it. You can be triggered without exploding. You can be disappointed without giving up. Emotional resilience is a skill. It's built like muscle, through repetition and resistance. Every time life throws stress, setbacks, criticism, or chaos at you, you are being given reps. But what most people do? They react instantly. They panic. They spiral. They turn a moment into a meltdown. Your mind becomes a battlefield, not because life is cruel, but because you never learn to pause before you respond. The pause is power, the breath before the reaction. That's where your growth lives. You don't have to fight every battle. You don't have to respond to every insult. You don't have to explain yourself to everyone. Emotionally strong people choose their battles wisely. They don't let temporary feelings cause permanent damage. They don't burn bridges in anger and realize later they only trap themselves. They don't let anxiety talk them out of greatness or fear convince them the world is against them. They feel deeply, but they don't fall apart every time life pokes at them. Resilience starts with responsibility. Emotional strength isn't built by blaming the world. It's built when you say, I can control how I respond. I am not a passenger. I am the driver. The moment you stop outsourcing your peace to circumstances or people, everything shifts. Life gets lighter, drama shrinks, stress loses power, because nothing and no one gets to dictate how you feel without your permission. It also means healing what you've suppressed. Emotional resilience isn't coldness, it's emotional intelligence. It's learning to sit with your feelings instead of running from them or drowning in them. When sadness shows up, instead of numbing it away, you ask why. When anger rises, instead of exploding, you pause and investigate. When fear whispers, instead of surrendering, you question it. Curiosity over reaction, that's maturity. You grow resilient when you stop reacting like the world owes you comfort and start training yourself to handle discomfort. Stress will come. People will disappoint you. Life will throw curveballs. But when you build inner strength, you stop being shocked by adversity and start being prepared for it. You expect challenges, and you face them with a steady mind, not a shaken one. Emotional resilience also requires boundaries. You cannot stay strong if you allow every negative voice, draining person, and chaotic situation into your life. Protect your energy. Protect your peace. Distance is not disrespect. It's self-respect. Some people don't deserve a reaction. Some situations don't deserve your energy. Silence can be strength. Walking away can be power. And yes, building resilience means embracing discomfort. It means doing the hard emotional work. Journaling, reflecting, having difficult conversations, acknowledging your patterns instead of running from them. It means not drowning in the victim mindset. You can't grow while clinging to excuses. You can't expand if every challenge becomes a crisis. Life will test you, not to break you, but to build you, to sharpen you, to make you capable of holding the blessings you're praying for. The strongest people you admire weren't born calm and confident. They earned it through heartbreak, through humiliation, through mistakes, through moments they thought they couldn't survive but did. Resilience is built in the moments when you want to fall apart, and instead you say, "Not today. I am stronger than this. I will rise." Before 2026, decide who controls your emotions. You or the world. Learn to pause, learn to breathe, learn to think before reacting. Learn to sit with discomfort without breaking. Because when you master your emotions, you master your life. And there is nothing, absolutely nothing, more powerful than a person who cannot be shaken. Look around at your life right now. Every habit you have, every belief you hold, every standard you live by has been influenced by the people you spend time with. We like to think we're independent thinkers, but the truth? Or if our environment shapes you long before you notice it. The wrong people can make you doubt your dreams, question your worth, and settle for a life beneath your potential. And the right people? They pull you forward, challenge you, hold you to a higher standard, and remind you who you are when you forget. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they are surrounded by people who normalize mediocrity, people who don't clap when you win, people who laugh at ambition, people who feel threatened by growth because they stopped growing themselves. You can't soar around people who are committed to crawling. You can't become your future self while hanging out with people married to their past. And you can't expect to rise when you're tied to people who are terrified of heights. If you want to change your life before 2026, you must upgrade your circle. And upgrading doesn't always mean cutting people off with anger or resentment. It means becoming intentional about who gets to influence your mind, your energy, and your habits. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone gets a front row seat to your evolution. Some people belong in the balcony, and some don't deserve to be in the building at all. You become like the people you spend time with. Mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually, if you're surrounded by complainers, you'll complain. If you're surrounded by quitters, you'll quit. If your friends dream small, you'll shrink to fit in. But if you surround yourself with hungry people, disciplined, focused, growth-minded people, you'll rise without even realizing it. Because success is contagious, confidence is contagious, accountability is contagious, so is laziness, so is negativity, so is average. Sometimes you're not stuck. You're just surrounded by conversations that go nowhere, surrounded by people who drain your energy instead of fueling your spirit, surrounded by cycles disguised as friendships, and you know it. Deep down, you feel it. The heaviness after talking to certain people, the guilt when you try to set boundaries, the frustration when your dreams feel too big for the room you're in. That's not intuition saying you're arrogant. That's your soul telling you you've outgrown your environment. Growth is lonely at first, because the climb always separates you from comfort. When you start leveling up, you'll lose people who were only comfortable with you at your lowest. You'll confuse people who can't understand your discipline, your boundaries, your focus. But hear this, thut. And you are not abandoning them, you are choosing yourself. And you are allowed to outgrow people without becoming the villain in their story. If someone prefers the old you, the one who broke promises to yourself, played small, lived on autopilot, they weren't aligned with your destiny, only your past, but upgrading your circle isn't only about who you remove, it's about who you add. Seek people who talk ideas, not gossip. People who make you feel energized, not exhausted. People who clap when you win and push you when you slow down. People who make you want to be better just by existing. And if you can't find those people yet, become them. Be the disciplined one. Be the dreamer. Be the positive force. Be the person who supports, not sabotages. When you become that energy, you attract that energy. Before 2026, make a commitment. No more shrinking to make others comfortable. No more friendships based on shared weaknesses instead of shared goals. No more bonding over complaining and calling it connection. Your life deserves environments that match your vision, not your fears. It's not that you're better than anyone. It's that you're becoming better than the version of yourself who accepted less. Protect your energy like your future depends on it, because it does. Surround yourself with people who think higher, dream bigger, act stronger, and love deeper. The life you want is on the other side of the circle you build. Choose wisely, because your future is listening, and it will rise or fall with the company you keep. Money isn't just paper or numbers in a bank account. It's freedom, options, time, and peace. And before 2026 arrives, you need to understand this truth. Financial strength is not built by luck. It's built by discipline and clarity. Most people don't have money problems. They have habits, mindset, and emotional problems around money. They spend emotionally. They avoid facing their finances. They tell themselves one day when the money comes, they'll get serious. But money doesn't reward intention. It rewards control, consistency, and responsibility. Let's get real. You don't rise financially when you earn more. You rise when you manage better. Income helps, but mindset builds wealth. Look at the cycle most people live in. They earn, they spend, they stress, they hope, and then they repeat. No plan, no structure, just survival. And survival mode kills dreams. It keeps you working for money instead of training money to work for you. The truth is, you cannot change what you refuse to measure. If you don't know where your money goes, it's already gone. Financial mastery begins with awareness. Track your spending. Understand your patterns. Ask yourself, what emotions drive my purchases? Am I buying happiness, convenience, or distraction? Am I trying to impress others while silently drowning in stress? Money doesn't just disappear. It walks away in small leaks and emotional impulses. Starbucks habits, subscription traps, eating out because you didn't plan, shopping for dopamine instead of purpose. Don't shame yourself. Study yourself. Awareness is step one. After that comes accountability. You must stop waiting for a financial miracle and start becoming the miracle. Build the habits now. Saving, investing, budgeting, creating multiple streams of income, educating yourself about money. Most people think investing and wealth building are complicated. They are not. What makes them feel complicated is avoidance, fear, and procrastination. You don't need to master the stock market overnight. You don't need to become a financial expert. You just need to start small, start messy, start scared, just start, and let's talk ego. Because ego keeps more people broke than poverty ever will. Ego says, I'll save when I have more. Ego says, I deserve this purchase. Ego says, I'll learn later. Ego wants to look rich instead of be rich. Ego prefers instant gratification over long-term growth. Enter real wealth whispers. Fake wealth screams. If your happiness depends on showing people you have status, you will never feel secure. Security doesn't come from showing off. It comes from knowing you are building something real. Financial strength is also emotional strength. It means saying no when you want to say yes. It means delayed gratification. It means staying focused when others flex. It means building a life, not just feeding impulses. It means having the courage to face the uncomfortable truth. Money mirrors your discipline. If you are chaotic with money, you will live a chaotic financial life. If you avoid your finances, they will avoid you. If you treat money casually, you will lose it casually. Before 2026, decide that you refuse to live in financial reaction mode. You will live in financial creation mode. Build a plan, automate your savings, educate yourself weekly, replace spending habits with wealth habits, ask better questions. Not what can I buy, but what can I build? Not how do I get rich fast, but how do I grow strong consistently? Money doesn't change you. It amplifies you if you aren't disciplined. Broke, you won't be disciplined wealthy. If you run from responsibility now, you'll drown in it later. But if you train yourself to be financially conscious, emotionally smart, and disciplined today, the future will reward you in ways that feel unbelievable now. You owe it to yourself to thrive, not just survive. You owe it to your future family, your future dreams, your future peace. Money is not the goal, and freedom is the goal. Choice is the goal, peace is the goal, stability is the goal, and those things are not handed out. They are earned through consistent responsibility. 2026 will not wait for you to get ready. Your financial life won't transform by accident. So make the decision. You will master money or money will master you. Choose control, choose responsibility, choose freedom. Your future depends on it. Your environment shapes your identity more than you realize. The people around you influence your discipline, your energy, your dreams, your habits, and even how you talk to yourself. If you surround yourself with distraction, drama, and small vision, you will shrink to fit that atmosphere. If you surround yourself with hunger, growth, discipline, and courage, you will rise to meet that standard. We become what we constantly witness, meaning your circle is not just company, it is a mirror and a forecast of your future. Think about it. When you spend time around lazy people, your standards drop. When you surround yourself with complainers, negativity becomes normal. When you sit with people who gossip, your mind starts shrinking into judgment instead of creation. When you're around people who avoid accountability, you start accepting excuses instead of results. Bad energy works quietly but powerfully. It drains your motivation, blinds your potential, and numbs your ambition. Not because you're weak, but because energy is contagious. Influence is real, and environment is not passive. It's shaping you every single second, whether you like it or not. Now flip that same truth. When you place yourself around driven people, you rise. When you listen to conversations about goals, money, discipline, and growth, your mind expands. When your circle values health, you start choosing better habits. When you're surrounded by people who dream bigger, take action, and hold themselves to a higher standard, you feel pushed to evolve. You can't stay average when excellence is the norm around you. That's the power of environment. It stretches you or shrinks you. It pushes you forward or pulls you backward. It grows you or withers your potential. So before 2026, you must upgrade your environment physically, mentally, socially, and emotionally. If your home keeps you distracted, clean it, organize it, change it, transform your space into a place of focus and peace. If your digital world drains you, unfollow negativity, block distractions, curate motivation, education, and inspiration. If your circle drains you, limit time, enforce boundaries, and don't apologize for choosing growth over comfort. Cutting people off isn't rude. Protecting your future is responsible. You are not obligated to stay loyal to environments that stunt your evolution, and be honest with yourself. Some relationships are comfort traps, not growth partnerships. You don't need friends who only hype your excuses. You need people who challenge you, who expect better from you, who don't tolerate your laziness, who push you to stretch instead of settling. If you can talk about dreams with someone and feel safe, keep them. If you share your goals and they laugh, discourage, or mock you, distance yourself. Dreams need oxygen. Negative people steal that oxygen and replace it with doubt. This next part matters. Environment is not just people. It is also habits. Your morning routine is part of your environment. Your workspace is part of your environment. The content you consume, the food you eat, the places you spend time, the conversations you engage in, all of it shapes you. You do not rise by accident. You rise by design. Your life today is a result of the environments you've been tolerating. Your life in 2026 will be a result of the environments you intentionally build. Starting now, you don't have to remove everyone from your life. You simply need to reorder the influence levels. Some people move from front row to back row. Some become silent contacts instead of daily voices. Some were chapters, not entire books. Let them stay where they belong. In the past, the next stage of your life requires a cleaner circle, a stronger atmosphere, and a louder inner voice than outer noise. There will be lonely seasons, but understand this. Our lonely seasons are often the birthplace of transformation. Solitude is where strength grows, clarity forms, and vision expands. If you feel alone right now, don't panic. You are in the workshop phase. And here's something powerful. If you can't find a growth environment yet, create one. Create one. Become the person who inspires. Become the one who builds. Discipline. Start reading, training, journaling, studying, listening to greatness, speaking your goals, taking action daily. When you rise, the right people find you. When you elevate, your environment naturally upgrades. You don't need a huge circle. You need the right energy. One aligned person is worth more than 10 comfortable ones. So demand more from your environment. Protect your peace like your future depends on it, because it does. Protect your energy like it's currency, because it is. And build an atmosphere that reflects where you're going, not where you've been. The world doesn't change when you get lucky. It changes when you step into rooms, routines, and relationships that make greatness your normal. Before 2026, rebuild your world. Curate your influences. Elevate your circle. Because your environment is not just where you live, it's what you become.